Is ham and mushroom a thing? I don't actually know, but I'm willing to take a guess. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday. That's a thing. That's a thing. Ham and mushroom's a thing. It's a new thing. Also, I've been putting Parmesan on top of the pizzas recently. It's good. Also, we've been adding oregano to the sauce. So there's been oregano and Parmesan going on. For all you pizza makers out there, especially the ones who started making pizza because we make pizza all the time on the vlog, buy some oregano, put it in your sauce, and then mix it all around and then before you spread the sauce, and then put some Parmesan on it when you're done. Good stuff. Anyway, delicious ham and mushroom pizza aside, and seriously, no lying, that was probably one of the best pizzas I've ever made. That was so good. Anyway, that aside, I mentioned yesterday that we have a lot of mail to open, so we're going to continue on, open 3 more letters so we can turn that pile into a smaller pile. This one is from Royal Mail, which means it is from the UK. Sonic Generations! You guys are going to be looking at this while I read this letter. Dear Stephen and Mal, hi! Just writing to say I'm a big fan of the vlog, and it all started when I saw Choco Conroy. He's hilarious, and so are you. I watched all of your Demo Fridays, even the ones with him in it. My favorite is Guardian Heroes. I really enjoy the vlog, even though it's hard to keep up sometimes because I'm very busy. I like how you talk about different topics and show different varieties of foods, especially cake. I love cake. I also love cake. Not a big fan of pie, but I like cake. Anyhow, I hear you're doing Sonic Generations, so I had to draw something for you. I hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to see more episodes of the vlog. Please look on the other side of the paper for drawing Enjoy. Enjoy! Again, for the second time. Thanks for reading, JC De Silva. And as you always say, let's meet again tomorrow, shall we? Well, thank you very much, JC, for sending the letter. And actually, in the letter, it says that the town is Balsadon. I'm not familiar with England, but it says the town is Balsadon, so if you live over in the UK, maybe you know where that is. Anyway, JC, I appreciate the letter. It's actually interesting that you mentioned the Demo Fridays things, because I've gotten a lot of messages from people that say, even if they don't watch the LP channel, they watch Demo Fridays, which is weird to me. Like, is it... What I don't understand what that is, and maybe that I shouldn't address you for that, but just the audience in general. Is there any people out there that are not really into watching full Let's Plays, but they like the demos? Because that's interesting. Anyway, JC, I appreciate the letter, and we're going to move on to the next letter, which is from Ethan in Meridian, Idaho. And this is a really, really thick letter. I'm actually kind of surprised it made it here with just 2 stamps.
Are we on the road to Meridian City?
You're a funny woman. You are a funny woman. On the road to Meridian City. I'm away, I'm on the road. My God, there's like an entire deck of cards in here. Dear Steven/Mallory, if you remember the Zelda cards, Ganon is the main villain of the series mostly. Skull Kid is the boss of the Lost Woods guarding the Master Sword. The guy sitting down is named Goro. I think I forgot. Hina is a teen girl that runs a fishing place. Okay, now that that's over, I noticed you had a Magic the Gathering Duels the Planeswalkers Let's Play. It took me 3 days to finish the series, and I also noticed on the vlog you haven't been seeing Alex at all. I think it sucks because you two haven't gotten together since college. But Dan, you've seen him a lot. But I am watching your Shadow of the Colossus LP, and isn't Celosia bigger than Zenobia? I've given both of you 1 Pokemon card / 5 Zelda cards / 6 more Pokemon cards this, and holy cow, they killed Carl, your viewer, Ethan/1 Ethan W on YouTube. P.S. You should do a blind Let's Play of Resident Evil Raccoon City for the Xbox. P.S.S. I got the cards off Amazon. Punctuation would have been a good addition, but otherwise I appreciate the letter. Let's see, what is this thing? Mallory! And I'm assuming this says... Oh, I thought it was going to be the one from the beginning of the fake intro thing, but it's actually just me staring at Jones. It's weird because this actually looks like a really...
Nice picture.
Really nicely taken photograph.
You should submit that to Jones.
Actually, this is the thumbnail for one of the videos, and a lot of time on the thumbnails, I take the background and do a blur on the background. So it actually looks like this is a really nicely taken photograph, when in fact everything was in focus and I just... But now it looks really nice. Huh, it's actually cool. I'm glad you did this because it would never have drawn my attention to the fact that this thumbnail is a work of art. Going up on the board, and now you can go up on the board too. And as for the cards here, there is an insane amount of cards. We've got Prince Rawless, so we have even more of the Zelda cards. Random Pokemon cards, more of the Zelda cards.
Favorite boss ever.
Yetta? Oh man, I watched you do this, I think. Yeah.
That is such a ridiculous part.
I've never beaten Twilight Princess, which is really sad, and I've gotten through some of it, but Mallory has beaten it like 3 times now. And when we were home last, she was playing through some of it, and I watched her beat this guy, or this
Girl. It's the
Yeah.
female Yeti.
The female Yeti. Gale Boomerang. Here's a holographic Zant and Midna. The Hero's Bow. More Pokemon cards. Wolf Howl. And the Ooccoo. Oh god, those are those creepy looking things, aren't they? God, they're creepy. They're so creepy. What do they even do?
They're basically your safe spot if you want to leave a...
Oh, they warp you out of the
here.
out of the dungeon.
Let's do a close-up on that beautiful face.
That is a scary thing. And finally, the giant wallet. Ethan, I definitely appreciate all this stuff. It's actually interesting because only like a week or 2 ago, I didn't even know that Zelda cards existed. And now they're being sent in like crazy. So I appreciate it. I will soon have like my own Zelda trading card collection. Anyway, Ethan, I appreciate the letter. We're going to move on to the last letter for today, which is from Josh in Westport, Connecticut. Kitty!
Kitty!
It's the first thing I saw whenever I opened it. It was a kitty. Anyway, let's read. Dear Stephen, Mal, and Rocco. Well, Rocco technically doesn't live here, but I'll share this with him later. Quick! Before you read this letter aloud for the camera, I need 2 things to be done. First, Stephen and Mal need to play a game of rocks, paper, scissors, best 2 out of 3, to determine who gets to read the rest of this letter for the vlog. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Piss. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Well, I'm screwed.
Now that is done, I need Stephen to say the name Geldegard Monotoli out loud. Don't ask why.
Geldegard Monotoli.
Well, now that those 2 things are out of the way, whoever won Rock, Paper, Scissors is currently reading this. Hooray! Time for the actual letter to start. What's happening, guys? This is your good buddy Dublin Seafood Inc. writing another letter. I wrote you guys a letter about a month ago, and it was opened live on day 854 titled Mama George's Cookies. You may be wondering why I'm writing you another letter so soon. The reason is I've recently started making the journey. I just hit the 200-day mark a few days ago, so I wanted to talk about what I have thought about the journey so far. It has been getting kind of confusing to keep up with the current vlog episodes while making the journey at the same time. For example, in the most recent released vlogs, you guys have just gotten back from your long-awaited honeymoon. I assumed when I was watching the vlog day where you were talking about going from home to the honeymoon that I would be seeing Rocco very soon. The reason for this is that in the early 200s of the vlog days, you are home from SCAD for the summer, and thus Rocco is in a lot of those vlogs. When you did get home from the honeymoon on day 866, I was thinking, where's that fat pussycat? And then I remembered you no longer live in Myrtle Beach. It's quite funny I forgot about you not living there anymore just because I've been watching vlogs where you did live there. I have developed into quite the Dan fan through making the journey. I find myself constantly telling my family that the links in the sidebar or that 1962 is a long time ago. I'm also planning on buying 1962 is a long time ago t-shirt when I get a few bucks. Dan is such a funny dude, and it has been exciting seeing him in recent vlogs. It doesn't seem like he has changed much in 2 years, and that's a good thing. Alex is also one of my favorite characters. I can never imagine what ridiculously hilarious thing Alex is going to do next. One of my favorite Alex moments is when he gave the vlog audience a whole spiel about doing the dishes. I can't remember what day it's on, but it's definitely a good day. Another one of my favorite moments is when Alex and Steven have an argument over how to pronounce the word giraffe. For some crazy reason, Steven thought it was pronounced like draff. Alex's response to this is incredible. That vlog day is 91. But if I have to give an award to my favorite vlog day so far from the journey, it has to be day 49. Quiz, what day's that?
That's I Am Dan.
Which is titled I Am Dan. I'm not going to explain this wonderful day. Anyone who is currently watching this video, go watch day 49 this instant. Actually, anyone who is watching this video should start making the journey this instant. You wouldn't believe how entertaining it is to watch Steven's life progress, and I know I'm going to be sad when I finish the journey. I will also feel accomplished. However, that will not be for quite some time, since I am currently in the early 200s. Honestly, I have to say you have become one of my favorite YouTubers, Steven. I think the reason for this is because you are so involved with your viewers. Your channels are getting quite popular, yet you still read all the comments on each video and respond to anyone who has a question. You even open up letters people send to you on your videos. It's really amazing what you do, and it makes me happy to be your fan. Keep up the great work. And at the very bottom, it's handwritten, says, look, there's more. To close off this letter, I have a question for Mallory. Mal, what is your opinion on Earthbound? I know how much Steven loves it, but what is your opinion on the game? I mean, you must have liked it enough to get involved with Starman.net a handful of years ago. My friend Steph, who's been on the vlog before, started playing Smash Brothers on N64. And she was like, man, Earthbound, I gotta find out what this game is about. And someone we knew at high school had the whole guide in the game and lent it to Steph. And Steph played it, and I read through the guide, and I thought the guide was really cool. That was my first experience with Earthbound, was looking at the player's guide. And I thought it was neat, and then I decided I would start searching for the game so I could have my own copy. Never found it. So somewhere along the line, someone was like, hey, you can download a ROM. And I'm like, a ROM? What's that? So eventually I got to playing it, and I loved the game. I got through the whole thing in maybe a week or two, and I would stay up late on school nights playing it downstairs on our terrible old computer. And I remember crying at the end. It was quite a few years ago. Anyway, that is the end of this extremely long letter. Sorry about its length, I just had an urge to write. From Josh Dublin, aka Dublin Seafood Incorporated on YouTube. P.S. I decided to include a picture of my cat with his letter. He is just like Rocco, except he is a tabby. He weighs 17 pounds. His name is Timo. Now I will try to draw. It will be awful. So we have Rocco, Timo, my cat, Gygus, Mr. Saturn, Earthbound Cart, Stephen and Mel. Pretend the height difference is 13 inches.
Kitty, one more time, in case you wanted to see Kitty
Timo?
one more time. Timo.
That's a cute name.
That is a cute name. Timo. Anyway, Josh, I appreciate your letter, and it's always so awesome to hear from people, especially when they are making the journey. It's interesting because now more than ever, I'm reminded of college. I mean, it was one of those things that people commented on old vlogs like every once in a while, but in the last probably month, there have been so many comments on old vlogs. It's like blowing my mind, and it's actually bringing back a lot of memories because when people are asking questions and stuff, I go and I have to, watch the video or parts of it, and I'm like, oh man, I forgot this happened. Then I'll watch the entire video, and then watch like the next day, and I'm like, oh man, the college was fun. College was fun. Some people have been watching that long, and some people, like Josh, are just now experiencing it for the first time, but it's still relevant, it's still fresh, and it's still fun to actually go back and meet the characters on the vlog and go through it chronologically. And as for the bit about responding to everyone and reading all the comments, I love doing that, and I am going to try my hardest to do that for as long as I can. However, this has got to be said. I spent 9 hours today reading and responding to emails and comments, and it was one of those like, oh crap. I mean, to be fair, I haven't read and responded to stuff in probably about 5 days or so, but that was like, oh dang. It legit took like 9 hours to do that. I started around like 8:30 and worked until like probably about 5:30, just doing nothing but reading and responding to comments. And it was one of those realizations like, for one, I got to keep up with it every day. I cannot get a few days behind. And number two, I will not be able to do it forever. So I'm in that weird process where I'm trying to decide how I'm going to change the formula and how soon it's going to change. But it'll be something I discuss here on the vlog. And it's not going to be so bad. It's not going to be like this cold turkey, I never read or respond to comments again. It's going to be like the people that ask questions that are easily Googled that make me rip my hair out, which happens every day like 100 times. Those will probably be the first to go, and I'll probably be able to breathe a lot easier after that. Anyway, Josh and everyone who sent in letters, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. There's a lot of stuff that's going to go up the card frame, go up on the artboard. And if you're watching right now and you'd like to send in a letter, you can! Go over to the channel page in the top right corner. There is an address. Write down that address onto an envelope, put stuff in the envelope, and send it. We will open it here on the vlog. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let's meet back tomorrow.